Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, the 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's bebopping sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. If you're on a mobile device, YouTube will get you there. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man into the search. If you're on your mobile device, just needing our audio, we suggest many platforms that will play it, like TuneIn, iTunes, Streamer. Others will too. iHeartRadio does not. But put WEEB into that search and we should pop up with no problem at the top of your list. And if you're on our website, that icon in the upper right-hand corner of every web page we have, it says Listen Live. Tap that once and you're listening just that quick. Some of those listening online this morning include Lodi, Wisconsin, Modesto, California, Houston, Texas, Fayetteville, LeBron, New Jersey, Warwick, Rhode Island, got several in Canada listening, Bismarck, North Dakota, Toms River, New Jersey. They're getting ready to get hit with a big snowstorm up there. Norcross, Georgia, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Salina, Kansas, Hendersonville, North Carolina, St. George, let's see, Grand Prairie, Canada, Worcester, Massachusetts, Moose Lake in Canada.
There's Moose Lake again.
Then we got Burkina Faso. That's
really
somewhere across the river there.
That's in Africa.
Yeah. Must have a military base there. Or
yeah,
something.
well, we got
or somebody from here.
Lots of military. But
Out there, huh?
Lots of military in Africa, here and there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, those are just a few that are tuned in online with us this morning.
And we don't mean to neglect anybody else, especially if you're a regular listener. We know we got regular listeners all over the place. But, good morning.
Today we're number one in the Sandhills. Tomorrow, the world.
By the way, talk about grand ideas. That is my favorite song that you play. And even though Steve doesn't let me dance anymore, I am dancing on the inside whenever Rubber Band Man plays.
Well, we'll have to download you a legitimate copy and let you carry it in your car.
Yeah, I may buy a copy of that. I don't have any bootleg music.
I've always liked this.
I bought.
I've always liked the Spinners, but never have seen them, but I like them.
They're hard to see. They're always a blur.
Well, I'm sure many of the originals aren't even there anymore. It's a pretty old band.
I don't know. A lot of these old bands, the old groups.
I mean, I was listening to this group when they just came out, and I was in college. That's how old they are.
Yeah, but if they just came out, they probably weren't much older than you. So, well, now that you mention it, they probably are older.
They were adults, and I was just a little 19-year-old turd in college, you know.
I want to add something to John Zumwalt's zone there. He's right. He did nothing to deserve to be born in the United States. But, like so many others, and he made a point, he listed a whole bunch of different professions and said, you get the idea. The idea was that people contribute and earn what they've got. And John certainly did, throughout his life, military service, police service, and whatnot, earned the right to be an American and strove to make this place a better place. So, hats off to John. Liked his Zumwalt zone today.
Well, yeah, people earn their place. It's the far left liberals that are trying to carry it to an extreme step and saying because you earn your place, you help earn it for the big guys, and it's time to take it all from them and give it to you. And who was it? Man.
De Blasio.
De Blasio, yeah, that came out and said, there's plenty of wealth in New York. The trouble is the wrong people have it.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Out of the closet communist keeps getting elected by those lemmings.
Yeah. It just behooves you that everybody wants to change. They say, boy, what an obvious choice there is to vote against him. But they never do it. Because you got those that show up and go, well, particularly in retirement incomes, which is around here, they say, my life is okay today, and I'm on a fixed income, and I don't want to change anything that might change that. So I'm going to keep in place exactly what we have.
You are absolutely, I have heard exactly that from several people, elderly people who vote Democrat. Well, my life's okay. Okay. Yeah. To hell with your kids and grandkids.
And now we got those that are 30 Democrats down in the Bahamas, or were down in the Bahamas, partying on the beach, courtesy of the lobbyist money. Flew down in a private 737 charter plane and flew back yesterday. And they said, oh, we had so many meetings and this and that and the other. Yeah, how many of you really attended? You send a staff member to your meeting, and you're out on the beach.
Well, they might be attending that because they're sending the staffers to the meetings with the vice president.
But, it just really looks bad when you got 600,000. Is it 600,000 or was it 6 million?
No, there's a number being thrown around, 600,000. I don't believe that. I think that's...
Well,
they're only
you
like
got federal employees going without their paycheck.
Only like 4 million. Not that that's not a lot. But 4 million federal employees, and then subtract military. I don't believe for a minute that 600,000 people are out of work.
Okay. Well, regardless, if anyone's out of work, it looks bad for you to be down there vacationing while they're having to call creditors and everybody else to explain the situation.
Yeah.
So as not to have their credit destroyed.
By the way, do you have anything coming up on that invasion of Nancy Pelosi's estate?
No.
Okay. I'm going to talk about that later. That's hilarious.
All right. It is 7:35, 35 past the hour. Let's jump into our shtick for today with our sound bites this morning. Speaking of the federal agencies or federal employees furloughed, they've started a tip line to help those who are now out or low on funds since they haven't been paid in weeks. Anyway, here we decided to call this tip line and see for ourselves what it's about.
Hello, and welcome to the Agency of Federally Furloughed Employees Survival Tip Line. We realize you have been working without pay for several weeks now. Thank you for your service. If you are low on funds and need help financially surviving the government shutdown, please stay on the line for money-saving tips. A gallon of whole milk can easily become 4 gallons of skim milk when cut with water. Speaking of cutting water, have you considered not showering during your furlough? A shower can use as much as 30 gallons per bathing session. May we suggest a car air freshener instead? Nothing beats the fresh, piney smell of the inside of a taxi cab. Thank you for calling the Agency of Federally Furloughed Employee Survival Tip Line. Please call back tomorrow for more survival tips.
All right.
Another thing you can do is call your representative and say, your Democrat representative, and say, get on the bandwagon.
Do your job. That's all they got to do. Do your job. But they can't do that. No. That will hand Donald Trump a win. They can't do that. This is about hating Donald Trump more than loving this country. It's as simple as that. All right, let's go one part of the universe. We're only going to one side of it today. And that's a few seconds inside a man's head. This is episode number 77. It's called Nose Blow.
And now it's time for another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
Ugh. There is nothing more disgusting than the first nose blow of the day. Glad nobody was standing behind me. Ugh.
And that was another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
Well, a guy in Silicon Valley, California, where else, pays $1,500 a month so 2 cats can have their own apartment. They're his daughters, but she couldn't keep them in her college dorm in L.A., and he couldn't keep them at his place because they don't get along with his dog. So he rented an apartment for them in the most expensive real estate market in the country. It's 400 square feet, doesn't have a bathroom, He's the landlord who says the housing market is crazy and the cats are living large.
He says, I have nowhere to put these cats. I said, well, you know, I got a room. I've been thinking about renting it. He says, hey, what if I paid you to put my cats up? I said, what do you mean? He says, well, what if they just stayed in the room? I said, okay, sure, I guess. I said, what do you mean? He says, just all the time. I'll come visit them, and I live close. And I said, sure, no problem. So I said, okay, well, we'll try it. I figured, you know, cats, you know, they don't have opposable thumbs. You know, they don't have attitude. Well, they have attitudes, but they don't, you know, they don't talk back. So that's great. So I said, you know, why not? So we stuck them in, and they've been great. They live in there. We come see them. We feed them. We keep them there, and they're loving life. They're living large. Yeah, I don't rent to cats or anybody else. I wanted to rent to somebody, and I probably ultimately will end up renting the place to somebody. But, you know, this market is so expensive, and people, you know, care about their pets as much as anything else. You know, they're part of the family. There's 2 cats, Tina and Louise, very cute cats, and they just stay there.
Okay. If he's happy, I'm happy. Okay. Meanwhile, a 29-year-old woman in Miami recently met a guy at a club, went back to his hotel, then took off with 5 Rolex watches he owned worth over $100,000. Police recovered one of them when they arrested her, but they didn't find the other 4 until they got to jail and took her through a metal detector. It turned out that she was hiding them in a very private area. Here's audio from the bond hearing.
Brought the defendant back to the room, went to use the bathroom, and when he came out, he noticed that his Crown Royal bag containing 5 high luxury watches valued at $108,000 were missing. Questioned the defendant about the missing bag, and the defendant opened the hotel door and ran out. She was subsequently taken into custody. And in the course of taking the defendant into custody, when she was being processed, the watch was secreted in the area.
Mm-hmm. All right.
We need to have a segment of stupid victim news.
I didn't do that. Let's see.
I don't know how they, in that case, I don't know how they got up there.
According to a new study, 1 out of 4 people under 25 want their ashes pressed into a vinyl record when they die. A company that does it, you knew there'd be one, has been around since 2010, and the prices and the process isn't that complex. The pops and crackles on the record, let's see. The pops and crackles on the record would be you. Here you go.
I press human ashes after they've been cremated into vinyl records. It's very simple at the end of the day. In effect, you're making a record as you normally do. You have your audio, and then from that, they make tin stampers, which is like a reverse of a vinyl. So instead of the grooves and the valleys, you have kind of mountains, if you like. And then those plates are used to press a piece of vinyl. And what we do at that stage is put the ash onto the vinyl just before it's pressed. So it's basically squished into the record. It does compromise the sound. It's exactly what you don't want to be happening at a pressing plant normally, but those pops and crackles are them. It's just something that, you know, your great-great-great-grandson or granddaughter can be sitting in their room listening, reading the cover and learning a bit about you.
Okay.
Slightly macabre.
Well, let's do a good story. A man in St. Cloud, Minnesota, recently needed a new liver transplant. Couldn't find a match with his family and friends. That's when he asked his ex-wife, who'd he been divorced from for 23 years. Luckily, they remained friends because of their children, and she was able to donate.
It's kind of an unusual story. You know, for me, it wasn't even a decision. It was kind of like him calling up and saying, can you come over and help us rake leaves? You know, that's how I think of it.
Wondering if, I could get by on dialysis and not have to put anybody through it and all this kind of stuff. But I just kind of said, God will take us there.
The month before, I really dialed in my diet, really drank a lot of water. I mean, I gave him a nice, fat, voluptuous kidney.
The doctor did say it was an excellent kidney.
If the story changes one person's actions or attitude towards their ex, it'll be all worth it. I mean, whatever happened, happened. You have to take from it and move forward.
Have you ever heard anyone so opposed to raking leaves if somebody asks? Good Lord.
Gillette has released a new ad encouraging men to do better in the Pound Me Too era. Naturally, not everyone is down with it. The first part of the ad deals with how bad and sexist and wrong men are, followed by the second half of the ad where it says that we can do better. We can be the perfect man. Here's the ad.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off, making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. But something finally changed.
Allegation.
We believe in the best in men, because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
Yeah, nothing like products with politics. How about a product without politics?
Guys, it's time to shave with OctoShave. 8 blades. Blade 1 makes casual contact with the whisker. Blade 2 makes a smooth pass over it. Blade 3 slowly caresses the whisker. Blade 4 covers it with oil. Blade 5 perks it up at full attention. Blade 6 smacks it and says, "Who's your daddy?" And finally, Blade 7 cuts it off. Blade 8 is simply a formality, saying we're done here. I've got other whiskers to cut. The new OctoShave. 8 blades. Because 9 would be as dumb as guys who think they're saving money by joining a Razors by Mail club.
Oh, jeez. Humor.
Kylie Jenner's responded to news that a picture of an egg broke her Instagram record for most likes. In other words,
I don't even think you need to explain the other words. That just speaks for itself.
Yeah, it was just a plain egg, and it got more likes than Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner, of course, one of the Kardashian clan.
I would love to know how many of those people actually voted this last time around.
Anyway, she turned 18, and immediately she... every time she went down the runway at a fashion show, she had see-through tops on, so you could see everything. But she's laughing all the way to the bank. $22 million last year. She's worth $800 million. And she's just 19. Yes, it pays to be a slut sometimes. Let's see. Anyway, she responded to the egg beating her record.
First, let's feel the ground. Really hot? Okay.
Yeah, so she could laugh her way to the bank. Chris Pratt and Catherine Schwarzenegger are engaged. He posted a photo right after on Instagram. So Access Hollywood posted an old video where Schwarzenegger was asked to pick between Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, or Chris Evans, and she picked Chris Pratt a year before they had even met.
Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, or Chris Evans?
Chris Evans. Actually, Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt's been looking good lately, so you never know.
Okay. And Mr. Sobriety himself, Charlie Sheen, says his sobriety had to be done. Extra talked to Charlie at a celebrity softball game not long after he posted that he'd been sober for a year.
I know you are counting. Congratulations on your sobriety.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was good.
Milestone.
That was good. Yes, indeed. Yeah, had to be done. Had to be done.
You're looking healthy. How are you doing?
Good. I feel good. I feel good. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. And from the Late Night Boys, Jimmy Fallon talks about Game of Thrones, that it'll be back in 90 days.
Big news, you guys. The producers of Game of Thrones just announced that the show will be back in 90 days on April 14th. Then President Trump said, ditto for the government. That's right. The government shutdown is now the longest in U.S. history. I'm not saying things are bleak, but right now Washington, D.C. looks like an abandoned Toys R Us.
People were clapping.
Well, I know.
I'm all for that, too.
It's he mentioned the word Trump in there, so they all kicking gear. Oh, yeah, anti-Trump. Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe, but I heard, when he said it looks like an abandoned Toys R Us, people were clapping, so...
The Clemson Tigers visited the White House, but since the kitchen staff is furloughed, Trump bought them fast food. And, of course, Jimmy Kimmel couldn't resist another batch at Trump for this.
Of all the crazy things Trump said and did over the weekend, this might be the craziest.
The Clemson championship team, the national championship team, will be coming tonight. It'll be exciting. And I think we're going to serve McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King's with some pizza. And I would think that's their favorite food.
Why would you think? What would possibly make you think that? I'll tell you what made him think that. So Sarah Sanders' office, after he made that statement, said because of the shutdown, much of the resident staff at the White House is furloughed, so the president is personally paying for the event to be catered with some of everyone's favorite. In other words, he's paying the check, so he had to get the cheapest food they could find.
I didn't see you ponying up anything.
Maybe because they're college students.
I don't see any of your rooms being opened up to illegal immigrants that you're all for. No, I don't see anybody jumping your fence around your home.
All right, speaking of that, I encourage everybody, go look at the top of the Morty Citizens page today. There is there's an article there. Laura Loomer took some people that she says are illegal aliens. Whether they were or not, I don't know. They jumped Nancy Pelosi's fence, set up a tent out in her yard, marched back and forth. When the police came, they said, and asked for her ID, she said, Gavin Newsom, the new governor of the state, said, we don't need ID. It was a tremendously ironic, fantastic protest. Ultimately, they were asked to leave. Oh, and she says she tried the door and it was locked. So they asked her to leave. No charges were pressed. I thought it was a fantastic protest.
I know Nancy probably was there, but in case you don't know, Nancy, you see, has a private Gulfstream jet, courtesy of the United States government, to fly her wherever she wants to go.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it comes with the speaker's job. That's one of the things she was complaining about when she got booted out, was she lost her jet. Now she has her private jet back, so she can go back to California at will. Of course, on your nickel, leaving that big carbon footprint all the way across the nation, because she's so important she can't fly commercial. Let's see. The future kings of England fly commercial.
Do they?
Yeah. The prime minister.
They could afford to fly on a charter.
The prime minister of, I saw a YouTube video where Prince Harry, he was going to a friend's wedding or something, or bachelor party, whatever. He was flying. They fly British Air, and he was flying coach because he had to pay for the ticket.
Well, he could afford first class, so.
Well, he flew coach. And the Prime Minister of England, in most cases, flies commercial. She's coming to visit the president. She gets on a British Airways flight to New York, and away she goes.
Yeah, I know. There's been a lot of criticism of the United States that way, but I don't have a problem with the president having a. It's the symbol of the United States, one of the great symbols of the United States.
You know, they fly not one, but two Air Force 747s with him. The one he's on is Air Force One. And if they fly a second one behind him because in case they need a backup if something goes wrong with the first one. I was just wondering, since it's his life that's the most important, and his family, I guess, why not fly a little less bigger plane as the trail plane? And if he had to get out of there, they got something to get out with. But they don't. You know, it's your money. And that's what the Secret Service wants in order to keep him safe. Oh, enough said. Here's your money.
Well, I know they're built with all kinds of security stuff, anti-missile stuff, and
I understand, but they also can come with fighter jets, escorts, if they so desire.
Although a fighter jet won't help if you got a missile locked on.
Well, here's the thing. They fly to a foreign country. They don't use the fuel at the foreign country. They fly in on military planes all the fuel for that 747. And they lock it. The Secret Service puts a lock on it with their initials and everything. And if the lock is kind of like what they put on a power meter.
Right, it's sealed.
Yeah. And if it's disturbed at all, they won't use it. But they want to make sure that fuel is good to go and nobody's tampered with it.
Well,
And they put a guard on it.
Yeah.
24/7.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy what all they do.
No, not really.
And sometimes you wonder if it goes a little too extreme.
I don't.
I mean, you want them safe, but...
You said I wonder, and I don't.
Well, I do. Anne Hathaway, the actress, told Jimmy Kimmel about working with Matthew McConaughey on the movie Serenity. And now she's learned to talk like him. So she did an impression.
Give me a topic.
Let's, I can't think of any topics. Okay,
This is what happens. Football. Oh, yeah. Football. I like it. I like the Tennessee Titans. I like the Patriots. God bless America. Before a game, sit down, play a little ball, maybe break a sweat first, have the kids, children, family, intentions.
Wow.
Intentionality with the football, passing it down the line. It's a great game, great invitation of the world.
I feel like I'm in the backseat of a Lincoln right now.
Yes, good. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I don't like those Lincoln commercials. They a lot of commercials just getting too weird. And they're off on they're off in the weeds for 90% of the commercial, and then they flash up at the very end, iPhone. They had all these people in colored outfits running everywhere on the screen for 29 seconds. And the last second, they flash up their iPhone. 10-7 or whatever it is. And I go, sad when I got to hunt to find out what this commercial's about.
Well, maybe that's the thing. You're hunting. You're paying attention. What's this about?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, no sound bites to me are more riveting than ones by or about celebrities.
Air traffic controllers in Canada send hundreds of pizzas to unpaid traffic controllers in the United States.
Who did?
Canada.
Oh.
Air traffic controllers. Here's Corden, a British guy, telling us how to run our country here.
To show their support for the unpaid air traffic controllers in the United States, air traffic controllers in Canada sent down hundreds of pizzas for the workers here. Isn't that nice? It's lovely, isn't it? A lovely gesture. Just when you think Canadians couldn't be more Canadian, they Canadian around and out-Canadian themselves.
Let's see. How much time I got? 1 minute. Not long enough
I
to
got
do
something
that.
to take up 1 minute.
Am I going into the weeds?
Why is it that Chris Plant makes a big deal about talking about employees versus workers? Well, because when we talk about workers, it is a Marxist term, because what it does is separate management from the employees. It gives the message that only the employees are working and management owners are not working. So, and it's getting into the lexicon now. I'm hardly ever hearing employees. I even heard Hannity refer to workers.
All right, time for your news, sports, and weather. 37 degrees here in the Sandhills. Oh, we got another minute. I keep thinking we're next hour.
Boy, is your face red.
I had it so perfectly timed.
Apparently not.
And I said, boy, this is going to work out just right. And fell on my face instead. Feels like Saturday when my dog tried to kill me. Throwing me down a 45-degree hill across riprap and briars and scrub trees and a heavy winter coat, and then my feet are up in the air, and I've got to do a sit-up in midair to be able to get out.
I'm
with
here
the heavy
for you,
coat
Steve.
on. My coat weighs about 20 pounds. It's heavy. All right, now it's coming up on 8 o'clock. Here comes the latest news, sports, and weather, and we'll return on the other side. Sunshine returns in abundance for our Tuesday. Look for partly cloudy skies all day long and a high of 49 tonight. It's going to be a bit chilly, mostly clear, a low of 29. Wednesday, more sunshine, tad warmer. Look for a high of 55. Wednesday night, clear and 34. And Thursday, partly cloudy, itty-bitty chance of an isolated shower. Look for a high of 54. And Friday, partly cloudy and 61. I'm Steve Leader Adams in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Expect plenty of questions about Robert Mueller's Russia probe when confirmation hearings for Attorney General nominee William Barr get underway this morning on Capitol Hill.
It's somewhat of a repeat performance from Barr, who served as Attorney General during the George H.W. Bush administration. He's expected to face tough grilling from Democrats who want assurances that he won't interfere with the Mueller investigation. In comments prepared for delivery, Barr's expected to say it's vitally important that the Mueller investigation be allowed to continue. In meetings leading up to this morning's hearing, Barr also told senators that the president did not ask for any promises in exchange for his nomination.
Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines. Parts of the federal government remain closed.
With the partial government shutdown in its fourth week, the president is vowing to continue to fight for border wall funding.
When it comes to keeping the American people safe, I will never, ever back down.
He told a farmers' convention yesterday that he's asking Congress for a steel barrier because we need strength. So far, Democrats have rejected his request, and he refuses to reopen the government while negotiations continue. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Just 10 weeks before Britain is due to leave the European Union, Parliament votes today on Prime Minister May's Brexit plan. Looks like the plan's going to go down to defeat.
May's deal faces widespread opposition, primarily because of language designed to prevent the reintroduction of border controls between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, which some fear will indefinitely tie Britain to the EU. Sarah Shackley, London.
Actress Carol Channing has died. Her career spanned decades on Broadway and on television. Carol Channing was 97 years old. Wall Street this morning, Dow futures down 4 points. S&P futures up 2. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
My husband and I wanted to buy a new car, and we don't have very good credit rating, so the bank recommended Trinity, so we called them. And the people were very nice. They told us the best solution for our problems.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
Trinity consolidated our bills, got us a lower interest rate, and a much better monthly payment.
Trinity Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
We feel much better now. Things are going pretty well. And since we've been with Trinity, our credit rating has really improved.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Ann, and we're debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
The International Criminal Court acquitting the former president of Ivory Coast of all charges. He had been accused of crimes against humanity stemming from violence following disputed elections in 2010.
Cheers of vindication rang around the public gallery as the judges announced that the prosecution had failed to provide enough evidence to justify continuing with the trial. Laurent Gbagbo and Charles Blé Goudet are to be released immediately or after the prosecution has responded. Mr. Gbagbo was the first head of state to be handed over to the court at the time his extradition was celebrated as evidence the ICC could bring the most powerful state actors to justice.
The BBC's Anna Holligan in The Hague. China plans to cut taxes, step up spending, and provide ample financing to private and small enterprises, help counter the country's worst slowdown since the global financial crisis. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is hiking the minimum wage again in the face of relentless hyperinflation that's hitting the country's economy.
Maduro presented his economic plans Monday at the start to his second disputed term, with increasing calls for him to give up power in the crisis-racked country. Though rich in oil, Venezuela is enduring a historic crisis as citizens struggle to afford basic goods and masses flee the country. Maduro's raising the minimum wage by 300%, bringing monthly salaries to roughly $6.50. It's a step he's taken a dozen times in the last 2 years. Maduro says he also intends to dramatically boost oil production. The president is under heightened pressure from opposition politicians and foreign leaders urging him to step down and return Venezuela to democratic rule. Keith Peters reporting.
Day 2 of the Los Angeles teachers' strike. The school staffed by a skeleton crew of substitutes. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Carolina Air Comfort and Safety, because we care. Clean, professional heating and cooling. Carolina Air, the friendly guys. Service, installation, and regular maintenance. Unbeatable, dependable every time. So CarolinaAir.com. Carolina Air Comfort and Safety, because we care.
Take advantage of Carolina Air's one-time $49 maintenance special. Get an extensive 32-point inspection that includes checking air filters and thermostats, drain cleaning, and more. A tune-up prolongs the life of your heating and cooling system and prevents costly repairs. Just $49. Call Carolina Air at 910-947-7707 or visit CarolinaAir.com.
Carolina Air Comfort and Safety, because we care.
Great news. Get into an available Ram, Jeep, Chrysler, or Dodge at invoice less all rebates. Only at Leith Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, in Aberdeen during the Owner Appreciation Day sales event. New 2018 and 2019 vehicles are available at invoice less all rebates. Just ask at Leith in Aberdeen. We're easy to get to, easy to deal with, and the home of available invoice less all rebates. Leith Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, in Aberdeen. The name you can trust. Tax tag and $598 administrative documentary fee additional.
Begin the year with a new car from Leith Honda Aberdeen. With a huge selection of new 2018 and 2019 vehicles, great prices, and no games or gimmicks, Leith Honda Aberdeen makes it easy for you, no matter what your budget is. We have special interest rates as low as 0.9% APR and sign and drive leases with no money down that can put you in a new car today. Leith Honda Aberdeen. Easy to get to and easy to deal with. Come in today.
Aberdeen Prescription Shop is one of the best independent pharmacies. Despite the chain stores, customers prefer Aberdeen Prescription Shop for its personal service, drive-through window, and free delivery. All major insurance is accepted, including TRICARE. Order your prescriptions online at AberdeenRxShop.com or call 944-1313, 944-1313, or visit the Town and Country Shopping Center on US 1. Aberdeen Prescription Shop.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Hi, this is Chef Karen from Philly and Colts at Little River, inviting you to attend the Sandhills Wedding Expo on Sunday, January 27th at the Pinehurst Resort. Stop by our booth for a few goodies, sample our wedding cake, and enter for a chance to win $1,000 off your total wedding package at Little River. Call me anytime at 692-4411, extension 3 to schedule a grand tour, and we'll show you how easy wedding planning can be. Philly and Colts at Little River Golf and Resort, 5 miles north of the traffic circle.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office arrested and charged 3 people in connection with the shooting of a third-generation North Carolina State Highway Patrol trooper last night. The Highway Patrol identified the victim as Trooper Daniel Harrell. He is in the hospital in Greenville with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Jake Thomas Patterson, the Wisconsin man accused of abducting 13-year-old Jamie Kloss and holding her captive for 3 months, was in court yesterday. Prosecutors charged him with kidnapping Jamie and killing her parents October 15th. The 911 call was also released. On it, you can hear Jamie Nutter, the woman that found Jamie, speaking with a 911 operator, recounting what Jamie said to her.
I am Jamie Kloss. Yes. She said, he killed my parents. I want to go home. Help me.
University of North Carolina Chapel Hill Chancellor Carol Foltz said Monday that she had authorized at the base that once held the statue known as Silent Sam be removed from the campus. She also announced that she would step down at the end of the year. CBS News Ed O'Keefe confirms that Senator Kristen Gillibrand, who announced an exploratory committee for president on Tuesday's Late Show, Stephen Colbert.
Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, the junior Democratic senator from New York, is expected to announce plans to form a presidential exploratory committee on Tuesday's Late Show with Stephen Colbert. A person familiar with her planning says that she'll make the announcement on the late night show.
President Trump's tenure has seen more than its fair share of high-profile staff departures and appointments. North Carolina State political science professor Andy Taylor says at a leadership level, a rotating cast of leadership can harm the government's ability to function.
You have to have continuity in government. There are many things that go on a daily basis that require institutional memory, and that require people with experience.
You're listening to NCN News.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
President Trump's choice for Attorney General is promising to let the special counsel complete the Russian investigation. More from Bill Rakoff.
In prepared remarks for the Senate Judiciary Committee already released, William Barr says, quote, "I believe it's in the best interest of everyone, the President, Congress, and most importantly, the American people, that this matter be resolved by allowing the special counsel to complete his work." Barr also says in his testimony that President Trump never sought any promises or commitments before selecting him to be the country's chief law enforcement officer. And while Barr stopped short of saying he'll release the Mueller report to the public, he does say he will provide as much transparency as the law will allow. Bill Rakoff, CBS News, Washington.
A Washington-based nonprofit is asking again that North Carolina ethics officials investigate whether State House Speaker Tim Moore got preferential treatment in a regulatory matter involving property his company owned. Campaign for Accountability leader Daniel Stevens filed the complaint on Monday with the Ethics Enforcement Office. The Ethics Board last month dismissed Stevens' first complaint, which accused Moore of trying to delay penalties related to underground fuel storage tanks at an
old poultry plant site that Moore's company later sold. Veteran State Senator Lewis Pate is leaving the North Carolina General Assembly a few months after acknowledging health problems and a week since getting sworn in for another 2-year term. Government workers are getting a helping hand from Stofers. More on that from reporter Greg Saber.
Protests by federal employees furloughed without pay during the government shutdown are intensifying.
Means people could lose their homes, people could lose their cars.
Stouffer's Frozen Foods is offering free meals to all government employees affected in the Cleveland area this Wednesday at corporate headquarters. Just show a federal government ID. Greg Saber for CBS News, Cleveland.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Well, the weekend is when our next substantial chance of rain will appear. Until then, we got some sunshine to enjoy. Partly cloudy today, headed for a high of 49 degrees. Then tonight, clear. That'll release the daytime heat. Look for a low of 29 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny, warmer. High of 55. Wednesday night, clear and 34. Thursday, partly cloudy, slight chance of a shower. Look for a high of 54. And Friday, partly cloudy and 61. I'm Steve Leader-Adams in the Weather Center. Right now, still cloudy, still 37 degrees here in the Sand Hills. Humidity maxed at 100%, dew point 37, pressure is 3021, winds calm, visibility is at 10 statute miles. It's 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news. For this Tuesday morning, state health officials say 6 people died from the flu in North Carolina last week, raising the death toll for the season to 16. The North Carolina Division of Public Health said 4 of the 6 flu victims were ages 65 and older, with the other 2 in the 50 to 64 age group. The flu season officially began in October and runs through March 31st. First Health More Regional is asking the public to please visit immediate family only if absolutely necessary, not to bring children under 12 years of age, and if you are experiencing some of the following symptoms, don't visit anyone in the hospital. Those symptoms being fever, cough, sore throat, runny, stuffy nose, body aches, headaches, chills, and fatigue. Fayetteville police officers are searching for an armed and dangerous man who's wanted for 17 outstanding warrants and orders for arrest. Police are seeking the public's help to find 41-year-old Zavargo Jenkins. According to officials, Jenkins is wanted for, among other things, robbery, discharging a weapon into occupied property, trafficking cocaine. Jenkins robbed someone of their clothes, shoulder bag, Apple Watch, iPhone, and money. He also shot off a gun along the 1900 block of Seabrook Road and then committed a robbery along 100 block of Colonial Drive and shot a victim who sustained non-life-threatening injuries. He's considered armed and dangerous. If you have info, you're asked to call 911. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports. Right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It's 8:16.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Duke last night played without two of its star freshmen for most of the night. The number 1 team dealt a rare defeat on their home court at Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham. The Blue Devils losing to unranked Syracuse in overtime, 95-91, absorbing their first ACC loss of the season. Zion Williamson had a career-high 35 points and 10 rebounds, and his free throw with 16.2 seconds left in regulation tied the game up at 85. But Syracuse held the Devils to just 2 of 8 in overtime and to just 21% from three-point range. Point guard Trey Jones went down at the 14:23 mark after colliding with Syracuse's Frank Howard. He injured his shoulder and didn't return. Cam Reddish, who hit the game winner for Duke at Florida State, missed the game with an illness, and junior Jack White started for him. He had a bad night shooting. He went 0 for 10 from the field, all of those three-point attempts. White ended the night with 6 rebounds and 5 assists.
It's just one of those games, it felt like. I mean, full credit to them. They're a great team. I mean, it hurts, especially losing at home after some big wins on the road. Come back here, we felt like we should have had this one.
Mike Krzyzewski even left a little bit tongue-tied in his post-game press conference.
Congratulations to Syracuse and their kids and Jim. Yeah, it's a very unusual night. A lot of adversity tonight. And some unusual things.
There were a couple other upsets in top 25 play last night. Pittsburgh upset number 11 Florida State 75-62, while Nebraska eased past 25th ranked Indiana 66-51. Other North Carolina programs in play last night fared better than Duke did. North Carolina A&T defeated Maryland Eastern Shore 67-58, while NC Central edged Delaware State 71-70. On the pro court, Kemba Walker was 7 of 13 from three-point range and finished with 33 points in the Hornets' 108-93 victory at San Antonio. This is NCN Sports.
If you're from the South, you know there's no such thing as a stranger. Your mother's real name is Ma'am, and if it's on a plate, it had better be fried. And if you're a farmer in the South, you know that DeKalb, Asgrow, and Delta Pine are the South's finest in corn, soybeans, and cotton, delivering the highest yield potential on your farm with the seed that makes the South grow. Find the seed for your acres at growthesouth.com.
State lawmakers are cranking up a new legislative session. Everything's on the table. The budget, education, transportation, regulation. What are they doing, and how is it affecting you, your family, your business, your wallet? Carolina Journal helps you find answers. Available each month as a free newspaper. Every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Donald Trump paid tribute to Clemson for winning the national championship in football with a White House ceremony last night. The menu included McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, and Pizza Hut. The visit by Clemson's football team was the second since Trump became president. The Tigers last visited in June 2017 after their championship run the previous season. Trump has routinely sparred with professional athletes during his 2 years in office, but college football has managed to avoid political controversies, with last year's champion Alabama also visiting the White House. Reigning Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray announced he's leaving Oklahoma early to enter the NFL draft. The Oakland Athletics made the speedy outfielder the 9th overall selection in June. They signed him and gave him a $4.66 million signing bonus, and the Athletics agreed to let him continue playing football. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
For over 55 years, we know more. From 1960 to the present, Aberdeen Exterminating has been Moore County's local pest control professional of choice. Termite control, household pests, yard treatments, flea and tick control, routine and on-demand treatments, mosquito control, termite protection with available damage warranty, crawl space protection, new home pre-treats, foundation inspections, and moisture barriers. Aberdeen Exterminating does it all and does it well. Prompt, courteous, dependable service at a fair price. That's what you want, but don't take our word for it. Just ask around. Aberdeen Exterminating, locally owned, servicing Moore County since 1960. Call us today for a free inspection and free estimate. 944-2474. That's 944-2474.
Great news. Get into an available Ram, Jeep, Chrysler, or Dodge at invoice less all rebates. Only at Leith Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Aberdeen during the Owner Appreciation Day sales event. New 2018 and 2019 vehicles are available at invoice less all rebates. Just ask. At Leith and Aberdeen, we're easy to get to, easy to deal with, and the home of available invoice less all rebates. Leith Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Aberdeen. The name you can trust.
Tax tag and $598 administrative documentary fee additional.
Begin the year with a new car from Leith Honda Aberdeen. With a huge selection of new 2018 and 2019 vehicles, great prices, and no games or gimmicks, Leith Honda Aberdeen makes it easy for you, no matter what your budget is. We have special interest rates as low as 0.9% APR and sign and drive leases with no money down that could put you in a new car today. Leith Honda Aberdeen. Easy to get to and easy to deal with. Come in today.
Carolina Air Comfort and Safety, because we care. Clean, professional heating and cooling. Carolina Air, the friendly guys. Service, installation, and regular maintenance. Unbeatable, dependable every time. So CarolinaAir.com. Carolina Air Comfort and Safety, because we care.
In addition to traditional HVAC services, Carolina Air in Carthage is a leader in smart home technology. Carolina Air has been selected by Google Nest to be one of 4 dealers in the state to be a Nest Pro Elite installer. Go to YouTube and enter Google/Nest and see the newest technology in thermostats, alarm systems, video doorbells, and other products. Only at Carolina Air on 15501 in Carthage. Call 910-984-2232. 910-984-2232.
If you're like me, you have to be diligent about watching your weight every single day. Despite how well you watch your weight, the one barrier that's always standing in your way is the belly fat you just can't seem to get rid of. Despite your best efforts, it's always there. Well, now there is a way to get your body to release the fat stored in those belly or thigh fat cells. It's the Ultra Slim Fat Melting Method, a non-invasive, non-surgical body sculpting treatment. This is a light therapy treatment, and the best part is you're guaranteed to lose 2 inches in your waist, hip, or thighs in a 32-minute treatment. I know it works because I've done it. What have you got to lose besides those 2 stubborn inches? Dr. Sharon Wright with Wright Chiropractic in 7 Lakes can give you all the details. Why not set up an appointment by calling her at 673-2225. That's 673-2225 and tell her Steve sent you. And finally say goodbye to your stubborn belly fat.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I was thinking today about pride. Not the bad kind, the kind of pride that we used to take in America. I remember when everyone was so proud to be an American, so proud of this nation, the things we've done and all we've accomplished. Let me pause a second and say this. I've often thought to myself, I am so proud to be an American. I have never thought, I am so proud to be an American. I hate Mexicans, Panamanians, and Bulgarians. No. This has nothing to do with any other country. You know what I did to deserve to be born in the greatest nation of on earth? Nothing. I did nothing. I just arrived. None of us had any choice, and I know I don't deserve to be so blessed. That doesn't make me any less proud. I love it when I see a Marine or a sailor or an airman or a member of the Coast Guard in uniform. I'm so proud of them and so grateful to them. I feel the same way about cops and EMS and doctors and nurses and, well, you get it. Aren't we blessed? Every time I see a military plane fly over, and in this area, they're often carrying a plane load of paratroopers, I feel safer. I love our flag and all it stands for and all it's presided over. I think it's okay to say things like, I am proud to be an American. I believe it is okay, and I plan on saying it and thinking it a lot. And I hope you will too. In the Zumwalt Zone.
Sunshine returns in abundance for our Tuesday. Look for partly cloudy skies all day long and a high of 49 tonight. It's going to be a bit chilly, mostly clear, a low of 29. Wednesday, more sunshine, tad warmer. Look for a high of 55. Wednesday night, clear and 34. And Thursday, partly cloudy, itty-bitty chance of an isolated shower. Look for a high of 54. And Friday, partly cloudy and 61. I'm Steve Leader Adams in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Let's get started, shall we?
You know what today is?
Okay, let me think. What's today? Tuesday?
Tuesdays are better. Good morning.
You're up early?
Morning.
The early bird. Right.
Talk 97.3 FM. 104.1 FM and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm the Leader Man's beautiful sidekick, Matt Horsley. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where you'll locate the link. One click of that will get you there. If you're on a mobile device, YouTube will get you there. Put Mornings with the Leader Man into that search. Now, if you're looking just for our audio stream, that's available in many ways, many platforms to play it, such as TuneIn, iTunes, Streamer, and, of course, our website. Upper right-hand corner of every page has an icon that says Listen Live. Just tap that once. You're listening that quick. On the streaming platforms, on your mobile device, just put WEEB into the search. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. It's going to be mostly partly cloudy today with a high. Early morning clouds will give way quickly to partly cloudy today. Look for a high of 49 tonight, clear and 29. Tomorrow, more sunshine and 55. Clear tomorrow night and 34. Thursday, partly cloudy, a small chance of an isolated shower. High of 54. Better chance of shower Thursday night. Mostly cloudy. Scattered showers, a little 41. Friday, back to partly cloudy, 60. And over the weekend, look for increasing chance of rain throughout the weekend. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm. Visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure's 30-21. Dew point 37. Humidity max at 100%. It's cloudy and 37 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:28, 28 past the hour. Matt makes a racket. See, if you were here for the start of the show, you wouldn't be making all this racket.
I got work to do, Steve.
Yeah. Nobody else here has any, do they?
Seems not.
All right, a couple things I need to get to. Good email was sent to me by a local retired colonel, a Marine colonel, which said, I was thinking. He says, since only 11 million people have Obamacare, how will 24 million people die if it's repealed? Will the additional 13 million people be randomly shot? Donald Trump deleted all his if Donald Trump deleted all his emails, wiped the server, and bleach bit it, and destroyed all his phones, and with a hammer, would the mainstream media suddenly lose all interest in the story and declare him innocent?
Yes. Yes, they would.
Yes, they are so fair. If women do the same job for less money, why do companies hire men to do the same job for more money?
That is an argument that some of the, like Thomas Sowell has been making for many years.
If you rob a bank in a sanctuary city, is it illegal or just an undocumented withdrawal? Each ISIS attack now is a reaction to Trump's policies, but all ISIS attacks during Obama's term was due to climate change and a plea for jobs. We should stop calling them all entitlements. Welfare, food stamps, WIC, ad nauseum are not entitlements. They are taxpayer-funded handouts and shouldn't be called entitlements at all. Social Security, veteran benefits, and entitlements are entitlements because the people receiving them are entitled to them. They earned and paid for them it was all earned and paid for by the recipients.
By the way, on that last point about ISIS, that wasn't out of the blue. There have been claims that ISIS and terrorism are generated by climate change.
If Muslims want to run away from a Muslim country, does that mean they're Islamophobic? He also says, I was thinking if liberals don't believe in biological gender, then why do they march for women's rights? How did the Russians get Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the DNC to steal the primary from Bernie Sanders? How did the Russians get Donna Brazile to leak debate questions to Hillary in advance of the debate? And now the New York Times coming out and say that, Donald Trump was a secret agent of the Russian government. Still is. Russia is running our country. Have you seen that article?
Yeah. Silly.
Why is it that Democrats think superdelegates are fine, but they have a problem with the Electoral College? If you don't want
They're talking about getting rid of superdelegates.
If you don't want the FBI involved in elections, don't nominate someone who's being investigated by the FBI. If Hillary's speeches cost $250,000 an hour, how come no one shows up for free ones? The DNC is mad at Russia because they think they're trying to manipulate our elections by exposing that the DNC is manipulating our elections. If Democrats don't want foreign involvement in our elections, why do they think it's all right for illegals to vote? And lastly, somebody's better start thinking. All right, for the record, is actually Dr. Martin Luther King's real birthday today.
Those were some good, solid thought-provokers there.
You liked them, especially since it came from a Marine, right?
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that it came from a Marine, but...
well, it did.
Now, I make lots of jokes about Marines, but because I'm a retired soldier, but, I'm not kidding.
Where was I? All right. For the record, it's actually Dr. Martin Luther King's real birthday. If he were alive, how old would he be today?
If he were alive, how old would he be? He'd be about 95.
No, he'd be 90. From our things you need to know so we do not sound stupid today, Keanu Reeves' new movie bombed at the box office over the weekend. So bad that it was the worst opening day of any movie in his career.
What was the movie?
I don't know. Chris Pratt and Catherine Schwarzenegger are now engaged. Oh, isn't that special? The official premiere date of the 8th and final season of Game of Thrones is going to be April, we've heard 15th and 14th, but mid-April. People in New York attending a performance of Beautiful, the life story of Carole King, got a surprise Saturday night when King appeared in the role of herself to celebrate the show's 5th anniversary on Broadway. Even though the government is shut down, the Clemson Tigers visited the White House yesterday to be congratulated for the National Football Championship. Didn't hear a word about boycott from them, did you? The Detroit Auto Show is underway. Scottie Pippen Jr. has committed to Vanderbilt for basketball. Steve Buscemi's wife of over 30 years, Jo Andres, has died. She was 65. A clip of Marilyn Monroe's hair is going to be auctioned off and is expected to pull in over $16,000. New M&M flavors are on the way this year. They include English toffee peanut, Mexican jalapeno peanut, and Thai coconut peanut. It's come to this: Americans are more likely to die from an opioid overdose than a car accident. A photo of an ordinary brown egg has broken Kylie Jenner's record for most liked photo with over 30 million likes. Meghan Markle let it slip that her royal baby is due in April. Please don't make it on my birthday. I don't need anybody else stealing my thunder. It used to be the most heart attacks occurred early in the morning. Now it's afternoons. Earlier this month, China made news by landing a spacecraft on the dark side of the moon. Now there's a lot of buzz online that it was all faked.
Well,
I don't think so.
That's kind of been a question from the beginning, though. You never know what the Chi-Coms are saying. And as our As our listener pointed out, it's the backside of the moon, not the dark side of the moon.
Today's impossible question, 63% of people who like to vacation in the winter said this would absolutely ruin their vacation. What is it?
Snowstorm?
No, the ball's calling. The ball's calling.
You ever call anyone when they're on vacation? Don't answer that.
85% of Americans over age 100 still alive today live in urban areas or in or near cities. The average woman has a favorite piece of clothing for how long?
11 years.
13. If you're average, you'll experience close to how many paper cuts in your life?
I'll venture 50.
400. An online poll, you got to remember, you got...
I'm exceptional, and that's why I don't...
What's that movie?
That many.
Was it... oh, man.
By the way, Keanu Reeves' movie is Replicas.
Oh, what's this? I saw Replicas. Not terrible. Not super great. I got singing about it. I can't remember what I was thinking of.
Wait a minute. You saw the movie and you didn't know what his movie was?
I forgot.
Oh.
I watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
An online poll reveals that 53% of people feel that by taking a class or group activity is the best way to meet someone, or a dating app.
Yeah, well, they like it far better than the dating apps.
148 million people view weekly coupons during the week.
Say that again? 148 million do what?
View weekly coupons during the week.
View them.
According to a recent survey of drivers all over the U.S., more than half said that seeing police lights in the rearview mirror is the most stressful thing they could encounter on the way to work.
Oh,
yeah, so saying, what am I going to do with this marijuana smoke? What about my joint in my hand right now, dude?
No, this was a survey from all over, not just in selected states. Cheech and Chong did a thing on that.
It could be any state. I don't have a kid show up to school stoned. A fear of being sued has led many seasons to banned sledding.
Many states?
Cities.
Cities. I didn't know what seasons was.
Oh, the fun police comes out and says, you can't sled in our city. And if we say it's okay, then we're open to liability.
And it's absolutely true. The damn slip and fall lawyers have ruined so much. And that becomes apparent when you travel to other countries and see what they don't have to endure.
I mean, in New York alone, they get so many lawsuits a day over cracks in the sidewalks. And the city just usually pays them because it's cheaper than fighting them. And they have guys that go around inspecting sidewalks for their job. That's all they do is inspect sidewalks. And if one slab of sidewalk slightly higher or lower than the slab next to it, then it must be fixed. Thank you, government.
It's also called criminality when they sue for something like that.
All right, it's time for Tuesdays. That means it's time to measure Matt's testosterone and estrogen levels. Last week, we found him pretty close to imbalance.
Oh, this is just great. Oh, my voice broke.
He was slightly more estrogen, but only slightly.
I'm transitioning.
So let's see how big of a man he is today. All right, these are questions for men that women should know the answer to. Which of the following was not a member of the original panel on TV's The View? Meredith Vieira or Whoopi Goldberg?
Meredith Vieira?
No. Whoopi was not an original. She began annoying the world a little bit after they started. Which of these is a shoe designer?
Is a shoe designer.
Which of these is a shoe designer? Frank Madden or Steve Madden?
Frank Madden is football or something, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be Steve Madden.
Steve Madden, you get credit. Ding! According to the old wives' tale and Marsha Brady, how many times should a girl brush her hair each day to keep her hair shiny and healthy?
And Marsha Brady? 3?
Is it 100 or 10?
Well, since 100 seems a little bit excessive, I'm going to go with 10.
You're deliberately getting these things wrong.
No, I'm not. Why would anybody brush their damn hair 100 times a day?
Did you ever watch the Brady Bunch?
I haven't watched it for many years. I don't
She
watch
sit in
much
there and
TV
brush
at
that
all.
hair 100 times.
Good Lord. How do you have hair left after that?
She's Marsha Brady.
Gee, I thought it was Marsha must be 3.
Well, you obviously got it wrong. So, yeah, that's pretty bad. All right.
All right, now the questions for Mena that women should know.
Now, these are questions for women. Excuse me, warm up the pipes.
That real Mena should know the answer to.
That real men should know the answer to. On your car, what does the abbreviation OHC stand for?
Overhead cam.
Ding.
Well, you had to look at it? You
Just to make sure.
You girly man?
What number did Babe Ruth wear on his baseball uniform?
7.
3. And how wide is an NFL football field?
How wide? 50 yards.
50 yards. No, that's incorrect.
40 yards.
No.
Do I get multiple choice?
No, it's 160 feet.
Okay.
Which is a little more than 50 yards.
So I don't get credit for 50 yards.
No.
You bastard.
So you got 1 point each. I'd say you're low in both categories, but equally so. All right, things we need to know so we don't sound stupid today. 85% of Americans
I don't care what you'd say.
85% of Americans over the age of 100 still alive today live in urban areas in did I do this?
Yes, you did.
Sure did. Okay. Sounded familiar.
Sometimes, when you're prepping for something and you're reading stuff,
I got so much stuff here, I
forget what you actually read. And
yeah.
Yeah. Comes with age, too. Did I say that, or was I thinking about saying that?
All righty. Let's move on to rim shots this morning.
I think we should.
See how we fare in that category. Some of them are pretty good. A little better than usual. All right. Officially, rim shots. Let's see. First in the queue. The final season of Game of Thrones begins in April. Until then, there's always Kardashians, I guess. Samuel L. Jackson movies have made a combined $13 billion at the box office. So we do know what's in his wallet.
Lots of cash.
Yeah.
Thank me for
It's not a Capital One credit card. A picture of a plain brown egg surpassed a picture of Kylie Jenner as the most liked photo on Instagram. When you think about it, the egg is very similar to Kylie. except that it's contributed way more to the world than she has. Kim Kardashian is disappointed that Mattel will not make a line of Barbie dolls in her image. Mattel simply stood by its longtime policy of not making a line of dolls after porn stars. It's official, Maroon 5 will headline the Super Bowl halftime show. Also official regarding the Super Bowl halftime show, it'll suck. Ford just...
well, we played some Maroon 5 stuff here.
Ford just unveiled the most powerful Mustang ever, 800 horsepower.
Wow.
I'm willing to bet if you look it up, the average penis size is at its lowest ever of those that buy those.
Yeah.
Bud Light cans will feature nutritional panels. Have you seen that Bud Light commercial where the whole commercial's about, coming soon, Bud Light's nutritional panel. Oh, whoopee, yeah, I'm going to buy Bud Light now so I can see that panel of how many carbs and is on the box. It's on the can already, but now it's on the box.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I'd have to watch TV to see that.
I'm interested to see what scientific-sounding name they will come up for goat pee, I guess. A new study found a link between big bellies and small brains, but wait, I've got a big belly.
Well, yes, you do.
And I be smart. In court testimony, drug dealers, El Chapo's IT guy says that working for El Chapo led him to a nervous breakdown. The IT guy said he was consistently worried that El Chapo might want to control, alt, delete him. A traveler going through security at Atlanta's airport managed to board a plane with a gun. But just in case you think the TSA isn't doing its job, it did manage to confiscate his nail clippers and a bottle of hand lotion.
Yes. Now, that was a weird story because that guy, after he got to Japan, and I take it he was a Japanese man, then contacted the airline and said, hey, I went through security with a gun.
A suspected thief hid 4 Rolexes in her women area, according to police conducting a strip search at the Miami jail. You know which police officer was called in to do the search?
I do not.
The watch commander. Had to go out with that one. Are you planning to visit a Walmart soon? No, not in your lifetime.
Hell yeah.
But if so, we're betting you won't get to experience anything from this list of the top things you'll never hear at a Walmart.
I'll be the judge of that.
Top things you will never hear at a Walmart. Like, no, I won't buy you Cocoa Puffs. They have no nutritional value.
Oh, come on now.
I'm so tired of these pants drooping in the back, I need a belt. A book about Jeff Foxworthy. Why on earth would anyone want that? Other top things you'll never hear at a Walmart, ever. Hey, aren't you my CrossFit class? Aren't you in my CrossFit class? If I buy these pajamas, I'm only wearing them at home. Where's my rim shot? Thank you.
You lose cool points when you do that.
Other top things you'll never hear at your Walmart. I should really start wearing a bra. Make sure food is non-GMO, and so that's so important to me. 3 more. I feel like this bathroom isn't quite the right configuration for a proper meth lab. Your children are so well behaved. Matt laughed at that one. And
he didn't.
Man, I'm way overpaid. Things you'll never hear at your local Walmart.
Walmart employees are paid higher than the government-imposed minimum, I believe. I'll bet 98% of our listeners shop at Walmart. Bet I pass a lot of them when I'm there and just don't know it.
Well, this person doesn't. I guarantee it.
I know. Ignorant slut.
All right, let's go get some bad guys.
You, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is...
What?
Failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
I don't know what.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8.
All right, my friends, it's time once again to strap on our... Oh, no. First, we're going to strut across the floor in the South of Duke John Way to open up our closet doors.
You can strap it on.
I see. Look at all 30 of our Liberty Safes today. We're going to look at Liberty Safe number 29.
29's a fat boy.
All right. Tick, tick, tick. Open that bad boy up. Let Matt in to reach in and grab our weapon of choice today.
Well, this is Revolver Week, Steve, so I'm going to give you a Ruger SP-101 357 Magnum. It's only got about a 2 1/4 inch barrel, so there you go. But I did outfit you with a laser grip, so you just have to get that dot on your subject.
All right, we'll throw that into the holster, pin on our badge. Grab 5 cans of whoop-ass as we now head out the door in relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1, I'm not sure about this guy's future, but he could make one hell of a Quentin Tarantino character one day because he's got his, quote, deadly pun skills locked down.
Deadly what skills?
Pun, P-U-N.
Pun.
There's a 30-year-old guy named Brian Stewart from Milton, Florida, and he got into a serious fight with his neighbor last week. He threatened to, quote, kill him with kindness. You know, like the saying goes. That's when another neighbor intervened, and Brian stabbed him with a knife.
Or a knife if kindness doesn't work.
Well, wait a minute. You haven't heard the rest of the story. And Brian almost made good on his threat because the knife had the word kindness written on it.
Oh, brother.
Fortunately, the neighbor is going to be okay, but Brian was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and aggravated battery. And stupid criminal news number 2 this morning. Cops definitely know when you're lying if you start changing your story. But there's a point where sticking to your guns doesn't work anymore either. And I think this is it. An inmate in prison in Nashville named Kenneth Johnson was being strip searched this month after guards accused him of hiding contraband. But he kept telling them that he wasn't hiding anything and stuck to his story. Even after they saw a plastic bag dangling from his backside. Here's the weird part of the story, though.
Let's get to the weird part.
Apparently, he tried to fight off the guards, and they had to pepper spray him. And according to the report, they sprayed his, quote, face area and buttock area and were able to remove the substance. Wait, is pepper spraying your butt something cops do to get people to declench?
It would heat things up.
Sounds painful. Anyway, it turned out he was hiding not one but 2 baggies of tobacco and a bag of fentanyl up there. And he's now facing 2 fresh charges of assault and possession with contraband and a penal unit.
Sounds like a rectal unit.
And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Tuesday. All right, 8:55, 55 past the hour. And it just wouldn't be a day if we didn't do everybody's game together. Let's do it. I said, let's do it.
And now it's time for... Yes! Yes! Yes!
Wrong
Yes! Or BS. Don't get me back to good.
All righty. Time for another round of yes or BS where we'll give you... Oh, no. I didn't say yes. I didn't mean yes or BS.
I thought you said everybody's favorite, so I was on board with the 4.
Where's my brain?
And now it's time for
Random facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sometimes I got to take the autopilot off. Especially when I change things around.
Need to stop licking LSD stamps.
All right. I was up too late with Duke basketball last night.
Oh, man. You know, nothing.
And they lost.
I like nothing more on this station than Duke basketball.
All righty. Random facts for today.
You know, except for all the other things.
Before the earth was covered in trees, somewhere around 350 to 420 million years ago, it was covered in giant mushrooms. I wonder if any of those were magic mushrooms, Uncle Dan, Lieutenant Dan. Google decided to create Google image search in 2000 after Jennifer Lopez wore her famous green dress to the Grammys. That's the ones that showed just about everything but the nipple. There was there were more searches for pictures of her in the dress than anything before, and the founders realized they needed to be a way to search for pictures only. The gopher sound and Caddyshack are the same as dolphin sound effects on the TV show Flipper. Disneyland in California has only closed 3 times in history: the National Day of Mourning for JFK in '63, after the earthquake in Northridge, California in '94, and on September 11th in 2001. All right, so it goes for this Tuesday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a Hump Day Wednesday already. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways, because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.
And I'm Matt Horsey with a quote from Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. I don't believe in quotas. America was founded on a philosophy of individual rights, not group rights. Chris Plant's show is up next. Rush Limbaugh begins at noon, followed by Sean Hannity at 3. And Mark Levin ties off the day at 6. Steve Leader Adams and I will be back tomorrow at 7.